Let's learn how to use the switch statement in C#. I'm going to create a brand new project, file new project, console app, and we'll call it Switcher. Creates our project for us. Now the switch statement is just a glorified if else statement. That's all it really is. It's just a different way of doing selection. So I could have something like int INumber, and then have a console write line that says enter your choice, and then we'll say INumber equal to convert dot int to 32, and we'll get data from the keyboard using read line. And I'm sorry I pressed the keys so hard, but it's sort of fun. And so now that I have a value from the keyboard, I can now go determine what value they entered in. I could do an if statement. If INumber is equal to, notice a double equal, 1, then I could go and do something else. If it's equal to 2, go do something else. If it's equal to 3, go do something. Instead of doing that, I can use a switch statement. Switch says we're going to do a comparison. What are we going to look at? We're going to look at the variable called INumber. And how are we going to do that? Curly brace, and then each how we're going to do that is called a case. If it's equal to 1, then let's go print something out. I am 1. And then we say the word break, case 2. And I'm just going to copy and paste. And let's say we have one more for case 3. And I'm also going to change these values over here. I am 2, I am 3. And then let's do one more that says I'm not 1, I'm not 2, and I'm not 3. I am not 1, 2, or 3. And say the word break. Now, what this actually means for us is, let's go do a comparison using the contents of this variable. Is it equal to 1? Do this and get out of the switch statement. Otherwise, do this. Get out of the switch statement. Otherwise, do this. Get out of the switch statement. Otherwise, if it's not 1, 2, or 3, then here's your garbage collector. In other words, that's like the else statement on an if. We do this, get out of the switch statement. Some languages allow you to write a case and not have a break. C# doesn't really like that. It says you can't do that. You got to have a break there. So if I went ahead and ran this, and enter your choice. Let's say we're doing a menu system. I want to do option number 1, enter. Then you can go and do something. I'm going to go ahead and pause the screen as we run it so you can see what actually happens. Let's run it one more time. Enter your choice. 1, I am 1. Enter 2, I am 2, and so forth. Let's enter 1 in. Let's don't do 1, 2, or 3. How about a 5? I am not 1, 2, or 3. So all the switch statement is just a glorified if statement. Now let's say that you wanted to do a range of numbers, like 1, 2, and 3 do something, 4, 5, and 6 do something else, or we could do, how about odds and evens? That's a great one. How about 2, 4, 6, and 8? And then this would be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. We can even add 0 up here. And we could say I am even, sorry, and I am odd, and otherwise we'll simply say you are not 9 or less. Now the weird thing is we want to be able to do a range. On an if statement, I could just say if INumber modulus, and so we could actually divide by 2 equals 0, then go do something. If some number, get the remainder, divided by 2 is 0, we know it's even. Otherwise, if it's not equal 0, we know it's odd. And so we can work with ranges of numbers and expressions. So let's say I wanted to work with the expression in the case statement. Could I come here and say, if I number modulus 2 equals 0, then go do something. And it says, you know what, that returns a true statement, a true value, it's a true or false. And so it doesn't like working with it because of how we set up this variable. We said we're working with a number. Well, what if I came up here and said bool b return, and I changed b return there? Now it still says, you know what, I don't understand what you're doing. You're getting a little crazy on me. So let's go back to here, and instead of doing the expression, if I wanted to work with the range of numbers, I'd have to do something like this. Case 0, case 2, case 4, case 6, case 8. I am even. And then here I'd have to say case 1, case 3, case 5, case 7, case 9, I am odd. Now that works, but can you see that using your switch statement to try to do multiple values or ranges of values just isn't going to be very pretty. So the main time I use switch statements is when I'm looking for one specific value, and I mainly use them on my menus, like enter a choice. Do you want to enter 1 to add a student, 2 delete a student, 3 search for a student, things like that. We don't really like to use them on the ranges. And that's how the switch statement